Give at Marks with Mike's podcast a shout out. Shout out!
Hey yo!
What a maneuver! Mamma mia! Mamma mia! Are you kidding me? The irresistible force meeting the
Yep, you already know what it is by the sound of my voice. That's right, it's your boy Mr. 6'9" JT back in this piece, of course. Once again, I'm joined by the co-host L Cheech. What's going on, buddy?
This nigga don't care. Got your chick's head spinning like that chick Linda Blair. I'm an exorcist. What's going on?
Not much, laying in the cut like a band-aid. And of course, we got Mr. Casanova. What's going on, homie?
Not much, man. Just enjoying the day, staying positive as usual. Got to keep them positive vibes going.
Yes, positive vibes is the way to go, man. You know, definitely want to make sure that y'all definitely check out our latest episode just dropped the other day. Interview with Myron Reed. Make sure you go check that out. Rocket Boys album is out right now. Make sure y'all go cop that as well. Click the link inside the bio. You know where to follow us. Whether that be on IG, Twitter, the Book of Faces, all that, man. It's all the same. Marks with Mikes. Follow us. Subscribe on all your podcast listening apps. Wrestling was crazy this week, man. We had the season premiere of Raw, and then we also had the unfortunate news with ROH. You had Halloween Havoc. You had Dynamite. You had Rampage and SmackDown. And you had Jada Pinkett Smith apparently running her husband through the mud again. But let's go ahead and get this thing started, man. That season premiere of Raw,
it was subpar.
It was subpar, but I was able to stay up all 3 hours and actually be in tune because they made it, you know, kind of mean something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, we're going to have this ladder match. Whoever wins this ladder match is going to go up against Big E. And I thought, you know, that's a good way to start off a show. I mean, how often do we get ladder matches on Raw?
Not very often, if at all.
But the thing is, it was everybody that was involved. You could tell who, right? Who was the only heel?
Seth Rollins.
You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like a given. You know what I mean? Because it would have made no sense for a face to win. You know, where they go from there. But they go to that formula. You know, but I mean, I'm not mad that it's Seth. You know, he's gonna show out, and you know, he's gonna be a good you know, opponent for him.
Most def. I think so too, man. But I think they need to turn some of these guys heel. Kevin Owens needs to go back heel. I'm sorry. There's too many faces on Raw. Way too many faces. Everyone was a face inside that match. Rey Mysterio was a face. Kevin Owens is a face. Who else was inside that match? God damn it. Name on the tip of my tongue. And all these guys Finn Balor face. And all these guys were former champions. So it all made sense. I was happy with the outcome, but honestly, they need to turn Owens heel. That's if he's staying. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I thought the match was pretty good, man. They did a good job with that. Raw, like I said, I mean, what was the biggest miss from Raw from you, Mr. Casanova? Like the biggest miss. Like they really missed on all cylinders.
See, I mean, personally, I didn't enjoy anything besides Seth Rollins winning that match. Like, I think the whole show was just not really where it needed to be for it being like the season premiere. Like the ladder match was off the hook, but that was pretty much about it for me. Like, I think they could have done everything better besides just a ladder match.
Yeah. I like Damian Priest's new look on life. You know what I mean? I don't know. Do he got eyeliner now? I don't know if he did, but I don't know if he went emo. You know what I mean? I don't know.
He turned heel.
But I like that. you know what I mean, uh, way of expression himself. You know what I mean, like uh, that, like not heel, but just be rough. You know what I mean, because you're a big guy, make it believable. You know what I mean.
So what you're trying to tell me is you didn't enjoy the colorful braids.
No, I'm not saying colorful braids. What the fuck, colorful braid got to do with anything? I'm talking about, his work in the ring.
Oh yeah, of course. But I
You know
like
what I mean? He's
I
more
like the new
aggressive.
music. New music.
Oh, that too. That too.
Uh, he looks like he's turning the corner to become that heel, and I'm happy about that because I don't like the whole good guy, punishment.
He smiles too
Martinez.
much.
Yeah,
Like he smiles too much. Like he needs to go back to punish Martinez where he barely talked and just beat ass.
yeah. Like I don't know, like the whole run they were doing with him kind of remind me of Rocky Maivia when he first debuted it. Just all smiles and shit. It's
Taking
like,
laps
yeah.
around the ring.
Right. But I want this. Like this dark turn is good. Tuesday, SmackDown.
Who? What? What?
I mean not Tuesday.
Halloween Havoc.
Halloween Havoc. I'm sorry. Well, not SmackDown. Tuesday, Halloween Havoc. I mean,
Chucky. Chucky.
Yo, Chucky is still relevant. Chucky is
I mean,
actually number one scripted show on Tuesday nights on cable.
no, and it fell on their lap too, because it's like they on a channel that is within USA, so it's right there. They don't have to be like getting signed to approve or whatever. You know what I mean? So it was clever, man. You know what I mean? Like it's Halloween Havoc. You know what I mean? And you got somebody as Chucky. You know what I mean? That big, man. It was a no-brainer. I like that little homage to Braun Breaker and his dad. You know what I mean? I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, Chuck ain't playing. Chucky said everybody can get it, generation after generation. I'm gonna still be here. I liked it, man, especially with Carmelo Hayes. That spot, the little haunted house shit they had going on. That was dope. Also, the women's the first match out the gate, man.
Toxic.
That toxic
Ooh.
attraction, and
Right.
you had EO and Zoe, and they inside that ladder match.
Man, that bump. You see that
That was
bump?
terrible, man. She ain't gonna be back for a while. There's no way.
No, but she'll be back. It's just the way it seemed, but like the way their body felt, she didn't break in half. You know what I mean? Like
that
most of
ladder
her weight.
almost did.
Yeah. Her weight mostly was to what I mean. So I think.
And her neck caught the edge of that ladder too.
Yeah. So the problem with that match, I could say, is you had too many girls that they don't. That's not their style. They never been in that particular match. You know what I mean? And to be put in the spotlight like that, which they did what they did, but the match there was a lot of botches. You know what I mean? There was a lot of I don't know what the fuck was going on. You know what I mean? But to me, the right people won. Because that name and they tryna they eye candy. Let's keep it 100. They tryna bring the the little kid going with the hormone, going through the hormonal stage. You know what I mean? But they want that. You know what I mean? That eye candy on TV. So we're gonna see, because eventually we saw what happened later on the there was only 4 matches. You know what I mean? But yeah, that toxic attraction, man, and Gigi, you know what I mean, man, bun.
He ain't lying.
Them buns were out, baby.
Yes, sir. I mean, yeah. I mean, I kind of expected it to be not as well put together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Indy inside the match with Homegirl, who I ain't never really seen before until.
But homegirl, she's
Solid. She's
yeah,
solid, but I'm
yeah.
saying like for her to be like boom right on the card inside that type of match
on a ladder match.
A ladder match at that. Like I haven't seen her really work on NXT. You know what I'm saying? So it was the ladder match had botches, but it's a ladder match. I mean, you gonna have a botch or two. That shit was just filled with botches. But like you said, right outcome, toxic attraction. Then you also had on that card another title that ended up getting ready to switch hands that night too, and that ended up being the women's championship.
Yeah,
God
it's
bless Mandy Rose.
yeah. I'm
God
telling you,
bless her.
man. They going for like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, look what we got here. She bad. She bad. And of course, you know what I mean, something that we saw before, and it's kind of like, ooh, hey, yo, look at that. Hello.
Wow.
Wow.
I love that, man. I loved each and every moment of that. And I don't know what y'all think, but I think Raquel Gonzalez is out of here.
I wonder
I
what show
think.
she's gonna go to.
Well, she did a dark match for SmackDown. So if I had to guess, who really needs Raquel Gonzalez right now? Is it Raw or SmackDown?
Oh, the
I
whole
mean,
women's division
Well, the
is
whole
shot.
women's division needs wrestlers. But I'm saying if you're looking at based off the show, based off the
But you,
talent,
but right now, I mean, we just saw what? We just saw going back somebody on the other on SmackDown change. So that kind of changed. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, so I think she'll, because we got Rhea Ripley, right? We got Rhea Ripley over there. What happened with her? She got the belt, but I don't know. Um, so Rhea Ripley's on Raw, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay.
and Becky
So I
Lynch is
was
over there too.
so I would say, you know what I mean, SmackDown. Raquel to just go to SmackDown.
Yeah, I like her on SmackDown. I rather have a feud with Charlotte, but that's a whole different can of worms there. Um, then you had what? You had the tag team match for the tag team titles, the men's tag team championship, and your boys came out on top. The boys you wanted to win on top. I'm guessing Imperium. I mean, I wasn't expecting MSK to drop the title at all, but then it leads me to think, what does this mean for MSK? Are they staying on NXT, or are they going to be heading to the main roster too? Because not for nothing, tag team division needs some heavy hitters right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's on all three shows. But what did you think about the match, Miss
What you think,
Castle?
Casanova?
I thought it was a dope match, honestly. I mean, MSK, they're high flyers going up against some, really sturdy guys that aren't high flyers. They're just like powerhouse hitters. So, in my personal opinion, I think it was a good title change. I mean, I didn't expect it to happen like that either, but, Imperium's been long overdue to get those titles back. So, it was a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good choice, but I'm gonna be real, man. I think they could have held out more for those titles on MSK because not for nothing, they have been carrying the tag team division, right? And it's kind of one of those things where you know they definitely needed a strong face to hold those titles. Don't get me wrong, Imperium is a strong team, a making of being a strong team, but you got a team like MSK, formerly the Rascals from Impact. Everybody knows them. They're legitimized. They're stamped when it comes down to tag team wrestling. But the match was dope. I think we gonna have something real nice and solid with Imperium coming out that tag team division coming up, because I think all the tools are there for them. Everything's there. The only thing they have to do is execute everything perfectly with them. Because if they don't try to do too much to the tag team, the stable, and leave it as is, I mean, Imperium works. It worked. It worked in the UK, and it can work here in the US. They just gotta not, damper with it too much. You know what I'm saying?
No, of
I
course. I
mean,
mean,
well, to me, without Walter, Imperium ain't shit. You know what I mean? Like I don't see them the same. And I don't know if one of them MSK dudes hurt or they going another way, but then again, yeah, there's not too many people, But Imperium, man, it's like, come on, man, like they don't do it for me. So unless they're gonna about to put it on the Diamond Mine brothers or somebody else, you know what I mean? Like I don't see Imperium having a long run unless we're gonna have Walter come over, and as we know, you know, they're gonna be doing some type of tour, and from the main roster, he's gonna be on. So I don't know. Without Walter, Imperium ain't shit. But fuck.
Damn, Chiefs, what you think, Mr. Casanova? Hey, shit.
well, I know for a while that I read that Walter did not want to move to the United States, but I'm not 100% sure right now, so don't quote me on it. But I think he is living in the United States now, so I don't know what he's going to be doing. So, I mean, either way, I'll be happy if he comes up. Doesn't matter which brand he's on, but I think together as a unit, it's going to be a great thing. Kind of like you had the Heart Foundation versus DX back in the day. Like if they get like them together and put them against somebody else, like a bigger faction, depending on what Vince decides to do, it'll be a good storyline.
Yeah, that'll definitely be good, man.
Yeah.
But we also had a debut that night. That big debut.
Ooh, Young Oos, Young
Young
Oos,
Goose. Yo, this
the
dude,
bloodline.
even for the little 10 seconds or 15 seconds or whatever you want to call it, yo, this dude is gonna be a monster. He's gonna be a monster, yo. And the crazy part is, if I just looking at him like, man, Rikishi first of all has strong genes because neither one of those kids look like their mama. They all look like Rikishi, right? Number two, yo, when Roman Reigns said our bloodline built this industry, this is exactly what he's talking about. Because here's the next generation right here. You know what I'm saying? Like this is gonna be something to reckon with. And to be honest, that's championship material. That's championship material right there, hands down. And I ain't talking North American Championship or cruiserweight. I'm talking NXT champion.
But if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but there was a pay-per-view in Puerto Rico where the homie Savio and the this guy from MLW was supposed to go, Simone Werewolf, and and I guess something happened. He wasn't able to make it. I believe, Young Oos was the one that took his spot. So pretty much that was his last little match before joining the Fed. I could be wrong, but I believe it was him. And man, the dude got potential, and of course the bloodline. You know, it's gonna be dope. You know what I'm saying? And I see one of his brothers posted just a blood drop. And everybody talking about that. Oh, that they could join it. It's like, nah, he just saying that's blood. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be fun. You know what I mean? Like seeing them grow, and if they keep booking them like that, man. So he looked menacing. He looked like he'd rip your head off.
What you think over there, Mr. Casanova?
Yeah, he's definitely from, the biggest family in the whole wrestling business. So he's got the skills and the work ethic to go far in his career. If it was me personally, I would like to see him join the bloodline. I'm not saying right now, but give it some time, depending on what they have planned for him in NXT. But seeing as, Vince is the main man behind NXT now, because Triple H has been, doing his own thing wherever he's at, I'm hoping that they use him properly and they bring him up sooner than later, because I think he'd be a great addition to the bloodline. Because I mean, the Usos already following Roman Reigns on every show, but if they have him come up, I don't know, let's say maybe like 6 months, maybe a year down the road, there could be a whole lot of fun that they could have together, and just terrorize the whole brand that they're on, SmackDown.
I'm waiting on Jacob Fatu. Let me know when Jacob Fatu become a free agent. That's what I'm waiting on. We see that, but speaking of main event, we definitely got to talk about the main event of Halloween Havoc. We had, of course, Tommaso Ciampa going up against Braun Breaker. You spoken it earlier about them, continuing the beef between Chucky and the Steiner family. So I'm with it, but looks like apparently inside that Steiner blood, coming off that middle rope or jumping from any type of platform seems to be a family tradition. Because damn, he looked just like Scott Steiner falling off, bro. But he young, I kind of expected that. But for all y'all who thought Braun Breaker was gonna come out and win that championship in his first ever takeover,
Wrong.
must be out your damn mind.
I like that. I like how the way they went. That approach. Like, yo, we fucking fuck them up, because you would think they were gonna go that route, but it would have made no sense. Not taking nothing away from Braun, but he shouldn't be winning the match. You should build them the chase. Now the chase is gonna be sweeter, because now he got a name. Now you know who Youngblood is. So now the chase, the journey towards the belt and to wherever, because God knows he'd probably be up quick. But just get him polished, and the sky's the limit for that kid. And Ciampa, Mr. Testament to him, coming from neck surgery, hustling, getting hurt, coming back, the matches that he provided, with DIY and the bangers that he had as of late, he gonna help build up the new crop of everybody that's coming in. So everything's gonna be, it's gonna be smooth sailing, but on their terms, you know what I mean?
100%, man. So Halloween Havoc as a whole, I think they did pretty good. I mean, if you care about the ratings went up. We don't care about that shit. We just care about if it was a good product, good show for the week. Speaking of good news for the week, well, I don't want to say good news. Speaking of, for following up off of last week's episode, we talked about Greg Hamilton and all his bullshit. Well, less than 36 hours later, they end up releasing him. And, I thought it was crazy, because he came at West Side Gun and all that shit. He was like, oh, well, the WWE, we gonna sue you. And at the end of the day, Vince and WWE was like,
We? We.
You heard him capping? You heard him capping? Like, he said it was mutual.
man, listen, one non-mutual about that agreement, but pen to paper, okay? One non-mutual about that, but at the end of the day, West Side Gun watching them. At the end of the day,
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
you shouldn't have. I mean, especially, you going out there. First of all, West Side Gun has probably been faithfully coming to WWE events that we know of.
Wrestling events.
Wrestling event. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Not just WWE. We talking about House of Glory. We talking about AEW. We talking about independent wrestling. Just this man has been a faithful advocate, and you get mad because he used your voice for less than 10 seconds. I understand. Yes, at the end of the day, he does have to clear this, but at the same time, you don't own this shit, bruh. That's a WWE property. When you sign that contract, any word that comes out your mouth, any action that you do on their television product is their product. At this point, you just a character, bruh.
No, not necessarily that. It's what he said. After because you got that point. Yeah, they gotta clear it. But when you start like he said, like, yeah, me and my buddies, we're gonna get you. You know what I mean? And they were like, bro,
We?
like,
We. Yo,
nah.
nah, son, that ain't happening. But definitely shout out to West Side Gun. Another one bites the dust. And apparently he just hooked up with Justin Roberts, so maybe he'll be on the next West Side Gun album. But hey, Wednesday, right? So you notice on Tuesday, you had Champa dressed up as Kranos from what's God of War, right? Then you had John Silver dressed up as the same character, yo. And I know Champa was sitting back at home watching Dynamite.
He
Like,
copied my whole fucking flow, word for word, bar for bar.
the whole entire costume, yo. It's like you ain't trying to change nothing about it, but at the same time,
They were like on some Wish and Amazon and all these comparisons.
Mr. Me Too ass mother.
Yeah,
Nah, but
meta ass. Yeah. Nah, but it is what it is. To me, like that, especially, that. Let's go straight to that main event.
yeah, might as well. Yeah.
It wasn't. It ain't for like the wrestler. It was just entertainment, and they did their thing. I wasn't with it. I could care less. But it was kind of cool. Ghostbusters. Who doesn't like Ghostbusters? You know what I mean? So to whatever. You know what I
I don't
mean?
think it was
But
an issue. I think
yeah,
everyone was really tripping because, oh, well, they said there was going to be a wrestling company. Come on, stop it, Five. Listen, entertainment is a part of any program, whether that be basketball, football, or professional wrestling. It can even be boxing. Okay, it's the same old thing. Like Digital Underground said, all around the world, same song. Right? It's the same thing that's going to pop off. But I thought, it wasn't to close out the show. No, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, and then
yeah.
Hangman is Puff. It's like I wasn't, jumping out my seat watching this. It was like, oh, okay, nice little
I know
move.
the Dark Order. I understand but that's it. Stop it. Get the fuck out of here. Even though it's kind of clever, the Marshmallow Man, like but please stop. Just stop. They make Carter.
I agree with
Let
Cheech on
alone
this one. Enough with the Dark Order already.
Dark alone, please. But just to get our taste, taste buds. Lately, as you can see, AEW been doing like starting the show with a bang. You know what I mean? Like big match, hype. You know what I mean?
And then they fizzle out with some bullshit.
Exactly. So they've been doing that. WWE started doing that. So you had this match, big, Bobby Fish versus CM Punk. You know what I mean? To start that match. And bro, CM Punk, he's over. He's over because they don't have to do a lot of shit. And the fans, they were eating everything. You know what I mean? They were eating everything. You know what I mean? Like the power slam, he would do a power slam. People would cheer for him.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, it's not like he fucking slammed the Big Show or fucking Andre the Giant or anybody.
No, and
He
and
slammed
it was
Bobby
this year.
Fish.
And yeah, and they're like trading shots, but nothing big. You know what I mean? But like, it's like CM Punk's so over that it helps. You know what I mean? It helps him. You know what I'm saying? Like as in like the match, because everything you go by the way the crowds react, and the people in Boston were loving that shit. You feel me? And
Yeah, he could have
you know what I
farted.
mean?
He could have farted inside the ring. They would have cheered.
Yeah,
He just farted to CM Punk's ass. Like,
Yeah.
they would have cheered for that shit, bro.
yeah, but like you know what I mean? Like that, the match. You know what I mean? It was a good match. You know what I'm saying? Just to start off the match. Towards the end, I guess it was a little confusion at the kickoff. It wasn't supposed to be, wasn't that?
Yeah.
Who fucked it up? Was it the Red Bobby Fish? But like they started, you know what I mean, like with a big bang, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and the thing is, and in the middle of a match, you know what I'm saying? You get that, you know what I mean, that crowd reaction, you know what I mean? So it's sort of like, it's like Hulk Hogan back in the day, you know what I mean? Motherfucker, he didn't do shit, but it was just the way people felt, you know, it's all about feeling, you know what I mean? And to me, that was pretty much, you know what I mean, like some other part from like that, that match right there on Dynamite, you know what I mean? Throughout the
It
match.
was all about feeling, man. People are more so happy. I haven't seen CM Punk an X amount of years inside of the ring. And so, like I said, he could have raised his eyebrows. He could have batted an eyebrow. He could have blinked 3 times. He could have sneezed. He could have farted. He could have pissed in the middle
And
of the
the thing
ring,
is,
and those people would have
people,
cheered.
yeah, and then people are like, they're not used to the slow pace. You know what I mean?
No.
That's boring to them. And that's the type of match that he fought. And, you know what I mean? And, not to everybody's
Mm.
liking, but still, you know what I mean? It was a good, well put match. You know what I mean? I gotta give it to him.
Yeah, David Arquette looked good out there. Next match. he don't sit here and tell me he don't look like David Arquette right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you need is a WCW championship, right?
That's all he needs. He looks like modern day David Arquette, not like chubby face back in 2000. He looks like today's David Arquette. If they did a CM Punk biopic, David Arquette's gonna play CM Punk. That's all I gotta say. But moving along from, Dynamite hit. It hit, man.
Yeah.
You know.
What about Page? That Page match.
What's that?
Ethan Page versus
Oh,
Guevara.
That match was fire. That match was
Yeah.
fire. But it's about time they doing something with Ethan Page, because I kind of feel like, it's like, yeah, you left Impact and you spent months, trying to build something for yourself to be able to debut. Versus, of course, I mean, it goes all about name value and shit like that. But you got people like Daniel Garcia who comes on, boom, he's getting a push. He's in matches. You get people like, of course, a Bryan Danielson off the rip getting matches. Then you got a CM Punk off the rip getting matches. Then you got a Ethan Page and a Scorpio Sky who's in the back burner. And
In
to
the
be
background.
honest, yeah, in the background, just watching. Ethan Page left behind a lot of good stuff at Impact. The Karate Man, all that shit. Like, this
Oh
man
no,
is
that
talented.
wasn't meant to be there. He didn't want it there.
He didn't want that. He got there.
He didn't want to do that shit. They just, they forced him to do that shit. But look at the way he looked. You know what I mean? He's physique. His
Oh, yeah.
discipline,
He
and
ripped.
the dude, he's surviving. But that's pretty much as long as that check is clear.
Exactly.
And remember, this is what, year 3. You know what I mean? Like, they down the road, they got to shuffle, because it was like that back in the day. Most of our favorite wrestlers, they started up in a certain position, a la Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? Style like that, and then they made their way up. But to me, it made no sense when they break up a fucking tag team. A person come from another company, coming off of a tag team, and then they put them together. It was like, what the fuck? What was wrong with CSU? CSU was off fucking. I love that shit. That shit was tight. You know what I mean?
SCU was tight.
SCU.
It was
You know
tight.
what I mean? And like, what the fuck? But anyway, some shit don't make no sense. But yeah, that match, you know what I mean? Guevara, they let him go. You know what I mean? And he be doing some move that he shouldn't be doing. Like that
Yeah.
one he did going outside, and but like the dude, he's gonna be a major player down the road. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
for sure.
and it was great. You know what I mean? Like that. You know what I mean? That match, but it was kind of like a given. 'Cause, you ain't see Ethan Page winning that shit. Then
No, of course not.
it's just pretty much like a prelude for the Inner Circle, Chris Jericho running out of breath to the fucking ring, and we have to wait till he catches his breath.
Yeah, I mean, Sammy Guevara putting up big numbers. Sammy Guevara as TNT champion is going to be dope. I do see something happen with the Inner Circle where they end up feuding over that title. I don't know if it's going to be Jack Hager or if it's going to be Jericho. but most likely Jack Hager probably gonna be the one to probably end up feuding with Guevara for the TNT Championship.
Yeah,
I
he's
I just see it. I'm on my That's So Raven shit. I just see that shit coming a mile away.
bro. He should go back to Bellator and focus on that. Cause when he comes on TV, man, uh, he don't do it for me, man. Jack is swagger, whatever the fuck. Even the
He
We the People,
he. That's
it
the only
was,
time he was over. That's the only
and,
time he was over.
and, and it was Dutch Mantel. Fuck that, got that shit
Exactly.
over. But I just doesn't do it to me. When they brought him AEW, I was hoping that they didn't have him talk. Like he won't say nothing, and
Psych.
I was like, yes, okay, I could get behind this, bruh. It's just that talking or whatever, and I'm like, yo, man, fuck out of here. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like the inner circle, do they have to break up? You know what I mean? Like it'll be one of them things that perhaps they'll be like, nah, let's not break it up. They just go their separate ways, a la New Day. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just a given. You know what I mean?
For
They
any
come to
faction.
blows and they break up. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, that Dynamite did the thing. But yeah, Bound for Glory. What is it? The aftermath of Bound for Glory.
But
Any of you guys check Impact?
before we get to there, man, before we even talk about that, man, we got to talk about what happened with ROH. You know,
Oh, I mean,
ah,
it's gonna be an invasion. Nah, but
nah,
at least
nah.
they taking care of them. They taking care of them. They paying everybody that's under contract until December. They paying for everybody that's under contract after December. You know what I mean? Or they could allowed to work anywhere. Like as of yesterday. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? They could do that. So Sinclair, you know what I mean, the parent company, whatever. I guess, big up to them. But is as the reports are that the library's up for sale for the highest bidder.
The library's been up for sale for over a year.
No, exactly. But you know what I mean. The fact that that was kind of like a writing on the wall, right there. But does WWE go for that? Most of the talent that they had, they're gone. You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
they, you know what I mean? They go in a different direction. You know what I mean? Would they get it just to cock block them over there? Who knows? Because remember, I guess the first All Out, All In, they part of that. So was AEW want WWE to be owning that first? You know what I mean? And AEW got the back, so why not? You know what I mean? Like I could see that happening. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? It was unfortunate, but it was like before it came out, we see somebody that we never would have thought seen anywhere else. The Briscoe brothers pop up in GCW. That should have been, you know what I mean? The writing on the wall right there when you saw them two guys.
You know, those guys are ROH, bone in and
Lifers.
bone out. Yeah, those are lifers. But the question is because of course someone put out this bullshit ass rumor talking about Tony Khan has signed all these people, and then of course
Gresham,
Gresh,
Lethal.
Jeff Cobb. I was like, listen, he ain't signed all these people. That's a bunch of bullshit. And I kind of feel like this, right? Okay, of course the internet wants this. The whole RH roster is all elite. That's what they want. But let's be realistic, all right? Let's be realistic. Let's say that he goes out and signs all 50 people. You can't even get the people that you have on TV. I mean, the people that you have on your current roster on your 3 television shows. Sorry, your 4. Well, your 2 television and your 2 YouTube shows. You can't even fit your whole roster on those. So even if you sign five of those people, or
You can't even do
a
a whole hour entertaining throughout. Because, you know what I
no,
mean?
no,
Rampage been falling off, you know what I mean? You had the banger, but you got so much talent, man. An hour should be on some like, yo, you can't leave in front of TV and shit.
right?
Do I see them hiring some people? Of course, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I
I mean,
do.
but now you got NWA. which I think it will fit perfect. You know what I mean? For a
With
lot of the
ROH,
talent.
it would,
Yeah.
but does Billy Corgan?
MOW.
He got the bank for that though. Does Billy Corgan got the bank, the signs from those people?
It ain't about having the bag. It's just
Why it
when
ain't?
it's listen, but it's
All
out there.
right.
You go, you know what I mean? You get the what you call it? You got friends, investors and shit. Because now you got the product there. You see, you know what I mean? It's that supply and demand. The supply is there, so it's like, yo, we got this. We could do so much. You know what I mean? Impact also. You know what I mean? So you could sprinkle. Don't forget about New Japan. They've been trying to expand from you know what I mean? And then you got AAA reemerging, you know what I mean? So the indies gonna be popping, you know what I mean?
They're
So
gonna be popping.
and,
They're gonna be
and
popping.
yeah, but to me it's gonna come down on that, like if they willing to spend the money, you know what I mean? Because
And that's what it boiled down to.
and I first remember the indie scene that it was going down because all these people was getting hired, you know what I mean? But then again, look at it now. Now it's like, oh shit, you know what I mean? You got all this talent.
Yeah, and the Indies could get another boom, but once again, all right. So there was a discussion on Twitter. People were saying that, oh, this is all AEW's fault. If they would have paid Cody and them the money the first go around, then there would be no AEW. Blah 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 blah. All that stuff. Listen, okay. Do I look at it and like, damn, if the boys would have never left, would ROH be as strong today? Me personally, yes, but they pulled a money move. They used the ROH platform and branding to help them launch out that first All In. Now, don't get me wrong, they used their own money to launch it,
Yeah,
but at the same time, it wasn't the boys.
it's
The
the
boys ain't
company.
obligated. Yeah, it's the company. They not obligated to stay with ROH. But here's the thing: you bought up the people buying their library, right? If I want to be petty, I'm Vince McMahon. I'm buying the library, and I'm gonna buy the whole entire ROH library, and I'm going to delete the first ever All In, just to be petty. That way you can't find that shit nowhere. If I was petty Vince McMahon, because if I don't want them to own the rights, and then look at it like this: if Vince buys that, do you think Vince is actually gonna put that shit on Peacock for y'all to go watch this shit? No,
He'll
I'm
sell
not
it.
gonna put. No,
He'll sell it back to them.
He will probably do something. Run up the price. If that's me,
Yeah.
I'm gonna run up the price.
Hey, what? Today's price.
Yo, listen.
Today's price.
I'm running up the price. Oh, well, hey, I heard you bought the whole catalog for $3 million. Yeah. So how much for that All In? $16 million. What you mean?
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
You know what I mean?
Like for real, like I'm about to buy the library, and if AEW wants that All In footage, because the Bucks own the name, but they don't own the footage. So if it's me, yeah, I'm gonna go buy the catalog. Come holler at me, Tony. Come holler at me, Bucks. Come holler at me, Cody. All that yin y'all been talking for the last couple years. What's up? Y'all want y'all footage? Y'all want y'all rights? Pay
Got
me.
that money?
Yeah, y'all got money. VPs of the company, yeah, y'all got it. Y'all got the money.
All in the video.
Yeah, come on, Tony. Hey, you got it. Remember, you said it. We got way more money than y'all. Listen, if he buys this, that is gonna be the classic boss move right there. You gonna have to pay me for your name, basically. That right there. Now, don't get me wrong. If Tony Khan buys it, all power to him, because he gets the name and he gets the rights. But if I'm Vince, I'm going after it, and I'm only going to sell that one piece of footage All In to AEW for the same price, if not more, than what I paid for the whole entire library. That's what you call a chess move, a power move. But speaking of moves, let's talk about Impact. Mr. Casanova, you were all on top of that. Talk about it, my man.
Well, the show starts off with Moose cutting one hell of a promo. And the thing you don't hear which you can't find it online because there was, some people on there that caught footage of it and reshared it and reshared it and reshared it. Somebody just decided to say some really awful comment about Moose, and if you look into it, you'll figure it out. But for me, it's like that shit doesn't belong in wrestling. I don't care who did what to you in the past or whatever your problem is with the product. If you're not happy about something, then don't watch it. Don't come to a wrestling event. There's no place for racism in wrestling or anywhere else for that matter. I really hope they find out who you are and they ban your ass from coming to shows. Like, I mean, in every company that's out there, because Moose is a heel. That's what he does. Personally, for me, I've been following him since he started on Impact, and I've been a fan ever since. The guy deserves the title, and he should have had that title before Rich Swann ever had it. He should have been the champion this whole time. Kenny Omega should have never had that title. A lot of people agree with me, some may not, but you know what, man? That whole racist bullshit, you gotta grow up already, man, and get some positivity in your life, get all that negativity away from you, and just be a better person. Don't act like that. There's women and children around. There's men too, young kids, old kids. I mean, it doesn't matter. There's people that don't want to hear that shit. There's just no place for it.
Yo! It doesn't matter how elite you are. Yo, that dude killed it with that promo, man. No matter what tribe you claim, what I mean? No matter what day of the new day, what the fuck, man? He killed it, man. I love Moose, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was talking that shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he was talking that good shit, but to definitely piggyback off what Mr. Casanova was saying, at the end of the day, listen, we're going to need y'all to stop hating, all right? Stop all that shit. But Impact definitely coming out with a bang. I mean, of course, they're at Sam's Club, right, Cheech? I'm sorry, Sam's Town in Vegas.
Man, they need to, oh my God. I guess to change the background, whatever, the fans, they was just like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? But anyway, like, they had the good card, and now Josh Alexander's being put as a big name, big player in the company, so we shall see, they gonna go back around and focus on that in matchup and shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that should be big, man, big time. I mean, but Impact is definitely hitting on all strides. Trey Miguel, X Division champion, and things of that nature. I'm waiting to see what becomes of the Bullet Club on Impact. Hopefully, we get something bigger popping off with these guys on Impact, with the Bullet Club and things of that nature. But I will say this, back to ROH. I really hope that everyone that was released from their contracts finds a home. Whether that be, like Cheech was saying, NWA, New Japan, who's trying to start a whole entire new, program. A whole new promotion out here. Whether that be, of course, MLW. There's so many places they can go. WWE and AEW are not the end all to be all when it comes to wrestling. So let's spread this talent around like mustard on the sandwich, not on the hot dog. But
yeah, man, you mentioned about Josh Alexander. So there was a part in Impact where Moose was talking to W. Morrissey, which, to me, those guys are like the giants of the show right now. And I would love personally to see those two in a cage for that title. So he basically said that he wants Morrissey to basically join forces with him again, even though Moose, crossed him and did what he had to do. So he said, if you help me take care of Suzuki, was it Eddie Edwards? And I think, what's the other guy?
No, Suzuki's with them, not Suzuki. Suzuki's teaming up with them.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. But yeah, he said basically, if you help me get all these other guys out of the way, you got the title shot. You get the first title shot.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
So with me, it's got to be in a cage. I don't care what anybody else says. It's got to be in a cage. They never do anything in a cage, hardly ever, and it's got to be in a cage. Clash of the Titans.
I dig it, but to me, it have to be like several matches, and then that'll be the, what I mean? I guess that's how I'm accustomed of, seeing a steel cage match. That should be the end, the be all and all, you know what I mean? That that they should go that route. But perhaps I don't know. I think Moo's contract is still, he got a year or something. You know what I mean? So now a lot of things could change with the ROH. There could be an invasion. You know what I mean? Come on, let's not forget Shane Taylor Promotions. Don't people
Come on,
still
man.
out there, man? Come on
Got
now, put respect
Shane
on that
Taylor.
name.
Got Shane Taylor
Ooh.
Promotions, man. You got Trish Adora that's out there. You also got out there Hot Sauce Tracy Williams that's out there. Danhausen that's out there. You can keep on going. I mean, you can go through the whole entire list. I'm not gonna name all 50 wrestlers and talent that were released, but ROH has a solid roster. They've always had a solid roster. It's all about getting that solid exposure. And that was the biggest thing for them, not getting the solid exposure.
So you think like an invasion could happen, and let's keep it 100, AEW. You know what I mean? Because they got the money. They got the money. They're gonna and they could, you know what I mean? It's gonna be a lot of things going on, but that's how you could use more people. And and they learn from what WWE did. Remember, WWE just didn't want to pay the contract, and the people didn't want to leave. I'm like, we're gonna catch them till we're in, and then we, you know what I mean? You can't blame that. They could have waited. I don't know why they didn't wait it, but if AEW is smart, they could do that. Cause remember, Samoa Joe's still over there. That would have been cool. You know what I mean? Like they show up, and then Samoa Joe be the leader. Cause you know what I mean? Like that would have been killer. But of course, he's still under contract or whatever. But you got CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Eddie Kingston. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? CM Punk turns heel.
Yeah.
ROH
nice.
people behind him.
That'd be nice. I mean, basically, what I'm getting from you is basically, if there were to ever be an invasion angle, the best place for it at this point in time, in your opinion, is AEW.
Yep.
That's the only place that's gonna happen. To keep it 100.
Yeah. I mean,
like I said, WWE. Remember, WWE's going another route, right? They're not going with the indie, whatever. They're gonna make their own. You know what I mean? So right there, because let's keep it 100. We still haven't even seen James Storm on TV on WWE. Yeah, we seen him on NXT, but it wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, how come? You know what I mean?
Not for nothing. That was on James Storm.
Oh yeah, that's what they say. You know what I mean? And but you know what I'm trying to say? Like they got other people that were even, probably gave them more problems, and they still deal with them. It's just hit or miss. But Impact. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. And I know they're never gonna go touring, but they got so much potential, man. And unless they get on a good TV channel, man, they're just gonna be. They're like the roaches of wrestling, man. They still out there, man.
Yo, real
they
talk.
Never die.
I think I think we've been saying this for like over a year. Impact needs a deal with CBS. CBS television needs wrestling. You got Fox, you got NBC with WWE, and I think CBS will be the perfect home for a wrestling television product. And I'm not talking about like the smaller stations like your CWs. That's like where Sinclair's at, right? I'm talking CBS should be putting this on their television lineup.
Paramount. They got Paramount.
Yeah, Paramount. Yeah. So CBS, if they pick up somebody like an Impact Wrestling in their library, and then you take that library and put it on Paramount.
But that too. But I don't know if you remember, going back to Tony Khan, he spoke about how he wants the library to grow up. You know what I mean? To build up so he could shop it to streaming service, because that's the way. That's the way to go.
Ain't nobody gonna buy that shit.
5 billion. What happened?
Ain't nobody gonna buy that shit but HBO.
Buy what?
The AEW library. No, nobody's gonna buy that.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
HBO's gonna be HBO Max. Why not? It's
You
Warner
got
Brothers
Apple.
property.
No, you got Apple TV. You got so
True.
many options. You know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is that they trying to build on their,
Yeah.
library. What
Yeah.
better way than to snatch ROH library? You know what I mean?
Yo, that's
So,
smart.
like you said, they've been shopping this shit for about a year or so. Man, Tony Khan probably owned this shit from the get go, and he just talking, just throwing little fucking, you know what I mean, like little things out there. You know what I mean? You feel me? So,
Yo.
he be talking, he be all up and busted open and shit. He mentioned that shit that he wanna build up the library, blah blah blah. Why would he be saying that?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
All
So
right.
let's stay tuned. So it could happen, bro. I could see it happening, man. My
Mm. Okay. Um. Okay. I can see that. That's a good look at it because he could be really just sitting there, like you said, letting the value build up on it. And that way, when he does try to sell it to somebody, and they're like, "Oh, we'll give you 2 million." Nah, son.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
I need 100 mil, my dude. I
oh yeah,
need
they
a
talk
hundred
about shit.
mil.
No, not even that. Well, WWE is another thing, but how much did Peacock gave him? 1 bill,
1 billion.
1 billion, right?
Yeah, 1 billion. Yeah.
Oh my god! But that's we talking about orange
But
and apples. But
but if
it
you
still helps.
if you look at overall between that deal and
Fox.
the no that no we just talking about Peacock. If
Oh,
Peacock and NBC, if you look at the streaming deal plus what Peacock / Universal paid for Raw, you talking about they made an easy $2 million just off of Peacock, NBC, Universal, and then they made a billion up for Fox, and then they just did an 8-figure deal with the what is it, the NFT collectibles and shit through Fox. $8 billion, like, yo, these motherfuckers ain't going nowhere. If you talking about the cockroaches of wrestling, it's WWE, hands down. They not going nowhere. $1 billion deals, my dude. Eight
no, they're a
figures, 9 figures.
corporation. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
not about going nowhere. It's just about the product getting
yeah, the
worse.
product. Yeah, the product
Yeah,
getting worse.
yeah,
But
like
guess
money
what?
wise.
Nah, they ain't going nowhere. Nah,
Yeah.
nah. For all y'all talking about, oh,
They're gonna
Tony.
change it to Meta E.
Nah, it's,
The name.
it's just gonna be world entertainment. They're gonna drop off the wrestling.
Yeah.
Call that shit. They're gonna call that shit we.
I thought there was already a channel called We or something like that on
Oh,
cable.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
Women's entertainment.
Woman entertainment.
Right. Yeah. Don't want to do that. You don't want to know.
There's going to be a lot of pissed off women out there.
What do you mean we? We?
We?
Yo.
Isn't that the channel or the network that Oprah owns? Isn't it We?
No, Oprah
No.
owns.
Own.
Oprah actually owned. She owns OWN.
Okay, so that's the one. That's what I was thinking of.
Yo, man. So SmackDown was, to me, I'm just gonna be honest, it wasn't all there for me this week. It wasn't, and one of the big reasons, the Tribal Chief was not on television.
He didn't come out till after the show.
Yeah. I kind of like that, but the thing is with Charlotte, let's keep it 100. Charlotte's Web continues.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it. We kind of hit on the nail. The fact that it's she just want to get released. You know what I mean? But the problem with her is she's just not anybody. You know what I mean? She's actually the face. Like she got endorsements and stuff like that, so they can't just let her go like that. You know what I mean?
No.
Like Braun Strowman, peace. You know what I mean? He wasn't that. Like Charlotte means so much. But
Yeah.
according to the report, the problem was pretty much she wasn't with it. You know what I mean, about the change. Next thing you know, they she trying to book, as in like what to do with her match. Like she'd rather lose it to a wrestler and then Becky should lose it to this person. You know what I mean? So right there, I'm like, you know what I mean? You booking for somebody else. It's like mind your fucking business. You know what I mean? So Charlotte coming out like, you know what I mean? Like what the fuck? Who the fuck do you think you are? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I guess that shit fucked up. You know what I mean? Like I guess from what happened the week before, and I don't. She ain't going anywhere. She ain't going anywhere. You know what I mean? Uh, may she be mad because it was like Becky was gone, and next thing you know, Charlotte was the savior, which she did. She was delivering. So she got it right, maybe. You know what I mean? Because now it's like, oh, now she back, and now you know what I mean. They used to be friends. How can we be friends? You know what I mean? But you know what I mean. The fact that you got Sasha, which you think, but we seen that before. I was surprised seeing Shotzi Blackheart. I'm like, what the fuck
Yo.
you doing here? But man, that the heel, you know what I mean? That heel turn, you could say. She going crazy. That green hair. I mean, they should be doing something with her a long time ago. The
Yo,
tank. I'm not too fond of the tank. I know our people over there on Smacking the
yo,
Raw
it
like
can
that
go.
shit.
It can go.
They like that shit. You know
It
what I
can
mean?
go.
How she be shooting in people's face. Nah, but man.
Yo, every time I see that tank,
Enough! Silence! I can't take this shit no more.
Yeah,
and
man, it's kind of cool, but I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, I think that was kind of cool, man. Like how the show started, Chassis Blackheart. I know she wasn't gonna win, but bro, we know how she be taking bumps. So she makes, she took some bumps. I was like, oh shit,
yo,
and
I don't know, like some of the times when she be taking these bumps, yo,
yeah,
I'm like, yo, how in the fuck, like, how you getting back up? But all in all,
uh,
what was your top
uh,
moment? What was your top moment from SmackDown, Mr. Casanova?
I mean, the Shotzi thing was pretty sweet. I mean, it's good that we're getting more females in the heel role. I mean, you have too many faces, in my opinion. And when we were talking about Charlotte, I mean, personally, I don't care if she stays or she goes. I mean, I've never been a fan of hers for, ever. So if she wants to go to AEW and hang out with Andrade, that's more power to her. I mean, the show was good to an extent, but I mean, I would say her turning heel was my favorite part per se because you're so used to seeing her being up all in NXT and stuff like that, and then she's been making appearances like here and there on SmackDown. So yeah, I mean that was probably my favorite part for right now.
Your favorite part,
yeah.
Cheech?
Ow, wow! No, man, that coronation, son. Um,
Sir
they
Woods.
bro, they're money, man. They're entertaining as fuck, and yeah, I don't think it's gonna get stale because they creative with their shit. You know what I mean? And
Hit row.
yeah, and the fact that in the backstage, they like huddle up and they like pretty much, hell, what you know what I mean? So right there, it's like hit row,
King
bro. Yeah,
Woods.
yeah,
King Woods. I'm with it.
yeah, like they heels or whatever, but they were like kind of sarcastic. You know what I mean? They're like backstage. So I mean, nice little rub you could say. But I just want Woods to turn heel, man, and just take it all in. You know what I mean? You're just crazy. Start his own shit. Kofi Kingston, get on my TV for a while. We don't need you on TV unless you go heel too, or you join the Hurt Business.
Damn.
I don't know if you
That's
caught it though, but when he was knighting his buddy over there, Kofi, he made reference to the Golden Girls, man, and I was waiting for that music to start playing. I heard it.
Thank
He
you
said,
for being a friend. Dun, 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 dun. Driving up the road and back again. My bad. Go ahead, man.
"Good times though." I mean, yeah, he said you're a pal and a confidant, and I was like, "Oh man."
You're a pal and confidant. Oh, and all right, go ahead.
We'll be booking JT later for some appearances. He'll be singing some songs for you, some show tunes, whatever you want him to do.
Karaoke.
I'm singing.
Exactly.
I'm singing all the show tunes from the late '70s and '80s.
There you go. Good times.
Yeah. But SmackDown, it did what it did. But then again, remember it was on FS1.
Yo,
You
They
go
don't
at
promote for shit.
McAfee.
they don't promote nothing on FS1. Yo, I was on their Twitter and IG. Not one mention of
Yo,
WWE.
you saw what Pat McAfee said?
No, what he say?
Baseball sucks.
Ooh. You can't say that. You can't, especially FS1.
Boy,
That's
he
their
did.
bread and butter. That's Fox's bread and butter right now when it comes to sports.
Yeah, but to me, it's probably one of them things, just like, oh, controversial,
A
whatever.
little jab. A little jab at the juggler. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not mad about it, yo. I mean, SmackDown, like I said, it hit and it did miss. We missed out on the Tribal Chief, but we did get the Warriors inside of a tag team match. Well, tagging in the tag team match, and that wasn't even, it was funny. In and out. Less than a second. Rampage.
Oh,
Ramp-
oh, come on, man. Let's get into that Rampage match. Up the dribble.
Off the dribble. Talk
Oh,
about it. Talk
My
about
God.
it.
bro, that match was fucking awesome. They seen each other before, if remember from back in the day, and you know, uh, they're hard hitting, bro. And Daniel Bryan working on his hand, because he likes that. So the fact that it was really technical, you know what I mean. But Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? Like those motherfuckers went at it like hard, you know what I mean?
Strong
Like,
style.
oh, strong style, you know
Give
what I
me
mean?
Eddie Kingston versus Daniel Bryan at least once a month, and I'm satisfied.
And what I love was the love that Kingston was getting in fucking Boston. You know what I mean?
Which is
like
hard because he's from New
yeah,
York.
no, exactly. And Daniel Bryan, you know what I mean? Like people love him, you know what I mean? But finally, this time around, like this is one of them times that even if the loser actually got over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Eddie Kingston, he's been doing it for a while, but I'm loving because how everything, what I mean, is turning around. You know what I mean? Especially at the end, you know what I mean? Like he's giving him the middle finger and shit until like he kind of like passed out. But Daniel Bryan was his chest, them slaps. You know what I mean? Like that match, it was, you know what I mean? It was a banger. It was a fucking banger. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I love I love that match. What about you, Casanova?
No, I thought it was dope, man. That hot shower in the morning today had to burn like hell, though. That's all I'm saying. His skin would look like it was just peeling back and everything. Like I
Ground
personally
beef.
don't know. Exactly, man. it was hella raw right there.
Mm, yeah, he won by submission too. You know what I mean? Like
Night
that's his
night.
kind of bread and butter. You know what I mean? But what I love is right after, okay,
setup.
CM Punk for the interview, blah blah blah. Then this dude's like on some rush. The fuck you laughing? You know what I'm saying? On some like, bro, they finally getting it. Cause I don't give a fuck. I mean, I'm sorry. They're gonna get their time. You get the new talent, new people. You know what I mean? Yeah, you wanna give them the rub, but I do not want to see fucking CM Punk fighting against Willie Hobbs. I don't want him to be fighting Daniel fucking Garcia. No. CM Punk should be with the elite. You know what I'm saying? Like wrestling the big pit. And right now, as you can see, I'm not saying, you know what I mean? In my eyes, Eddie Kingston is elite. You know what I mean? Eddie Kingston been elite. So if they start going that route, take my fucking money. Do a fucking whole hour. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? 1 hour burner. Which I think is gonna happen because now Christmas is coming around. You know what I mean? Give me one of them empty matches, empty fucking whatever.
Arena
But
matches.
yeah. But man, that CM Punk against Eddie Kingston, that's gonna show you how versatile CM Punk it actually still is. You know what I mean? And that's a beauty. But Daniel Bryan, most likely, he's gonna be in full gear. I guess that's the final, right? So it's a given. John Moxley against Daniel Bryan.
like nothing has been shocking. You know what I'm saying? Like everything on this card, it's like, all right, you looked at it and it's like, Daniel Bryan's going to be inside the title picture. I don't see Moxley going right back for the title. I mean, I see Daniel Bryan. I see Moxley probably taking a few weeks off, if that. But I just don't see Moxley right now. Daniel Bryan is hot. That's where the weight is at.
Oh no, my bad. Paige never wrestled Moxley? Oh yeah. I'm talking about cowboy shit.
Cowboy shit? No.
No. So there's a possibility.
Yeah.
I could see John Moxley winning it, getting that title match against Paige. No, listen, against Paige, and Paige retaining. You know what I mean? Or do they go the other way around? Daniel Bryan, and everybody expects for Paige to beat Omega. Omega retains. Then you got Omega versus Daniel Bryan. Bryan Danielson. Part 2 for the belt. You know what I mean? And
or they could just add him in the match later on that night, make it a triple threat.
No, I don't want a triple threat. That's WWE shit.
That's what's gonna happen, though, bro.
No triple threat.
All right. Let's make a bet right now. You ready? Here's my bet. Daniel Bryan's gonna win the tournament because I don't think John Moxley should be winning any tournament, especially if he out here biting people's faces off and shit. You know.
Then he just come out with a book.
Yeah, he just came out with a book, and maybe inside that book he should be telling you how to bite people's face off. It's COVID, all right? You shouldn't be putting your mouth on anybody unless it's fellatio. But with that being said, with that being said, you know what I'm saying? Here's my bet: Daniel Bryan wins the tournament, and at the end of the night, because you know the opportunity is for a championship match. He can eject it right then and there. He can wait towards the end, inject it, come in. He can even come in at the start of the match. We end up with a triple threat match, and Daniel Bryan walks out of Full Gear with the championship. I think they swerve Hangman. Because think about it. What's going to draw more big ratings on television the next night? Hangman finally winning the championship, or Bryan Danielson swerving everybody and winning the championship that night, and then going into Dynamite? The talk of the town is going to be Bryan Danielson for either screwing Hangman out of his first title, or they rushed the gun with him inside the title picture, or people just being mad just because.
But that's the rules from that particular tournament.
I believe so. Don't quote me on it. I could be wrong. But I think whoever wins that tournament gets a championship.
Yeah, they get a championship, a future championship match. If it's
the future is now. It's now. The future is now, my G. Look, the future is now. Everything is. Yo, I'm gonna say this one more time. I'm gonna say this one more time, yo. Say this right now.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
In other words, the future was back then. No, the future is right now. Okay, price just went up. Price just went up, which means that if you are looking for this to be able to hit, because it's gonna hit regardless what the name's on the card. But if you look for something that's gonna keep the world talking, Daniel Bryan winning that night and doing exactly what he did at WrestleMania 30. And going on to win the championship, yeah, bro. That's gonna be the talk. That's gonna be the talk of the town for weeks. So
Dragons breathe fire.
I can see that, but that doesn't mean I gotta agree with that. Fuck that shit, cowboy shit.
I agree. I agree though. But I like Hangman Page. I've never been a big Daniel Bryan fan, but I'm definitely not a Kenny Omega fan. So if I gotta choose between Kenny Omega and Daniel Bryan it is.
I gotta see what Ja Rule think about this shit for real. You know, Ja Rule is wrestling. See what Ja Rule thinks.
Who gives a fuck what Ja Rule thinks at a time like this, nigga? This is ridiculous.
I don't think anyone gives a fuck what Ja Rule thinks at this moment. Listen. This week was crazy, and We didn't even touch on the fact that we had a Britt Baker going up against a Abandon, which I think, to me,
Ah,
honestly,
she look awesome.
she looks awesome, but they fucked her character up from the jump. They fucked her up from the jump because they
Mm.
introduced her too quick without understanding what her character could be on a main stage like that. You know what I'm saying? It should have been vignettes. It should have been her kidnapping people. It should have
Hmm.
been all sorts of that shit.
I
So
mean,
they
she still she gets she's
she can still
they could
do it.
still, yeah, they could still save that curve. You know what I
They
mean?
can
That
still
gimmick.
save it, but you know what's going to have to happen? They're going to have to take off TV completely. So she'll have to be off TV for months. But it was a fire match. It was a fire match. You had the thumbtacks coming out. It was a real good fire match, man. But you know, other than that, personally, in my opinion, I think we all think the bags were a nice idea. Not pointing any fingers. It could have been done better. Django Unchained. That's where I get that reference from. But I do think they got something right there with her. It's just they gonna have to pull it back and push it back in.
Repackage
Pause.
her, repackage her all
Repackage
the
her.
way.
Speaking of repackage, Wyndham is free. Bray Wyatt is free.
He's
Free to
coming.
go wherever he
Impact.
want.
Impact.
So let's make a bet right now. Do you think he's gonna be on Impact? Or do you think he's gonna be on the AEW? Or do you think New Japan? Last but not least, do you think he goes back to the Heat?
Oh no, I think he's gonna go to Impact briefly and and go to AEW. What I would like to see, perhaps now that the crowd is back, Matt Hardy, you know what I mean, come into effect, bring back the broken Hardy, the way it was supposed meant to be. You know what I mean? Him get tired of all this fucking what is it, the Dungeon of Doom from WCW? 'Cause that's, you know what I mean, a bunch of, it don't make no sense. And perhaps Bray Wyatt, but that's what we know. But I don't think they wanna. Oh, we did that already. What we wanna, you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
does he come back on some dark vibe, or he comes back on some other gimmick, totally 360 from what we normally know him on? You know what I mean? So I don't know, but like I'm gonna say Impact because everything's a clusterfuck, and I would say, and let's say he had an exchange with how he would like to work with Danhausen. You know what I mean? That could happen not necessarily in a big stage. You know what I mean? That could happen on any indie near you. You know what I mean? We got House of Glory coming back. You know what I mean? They got the big deep pockets. They got the deep pockets. So
That's that
you
Master P
know,
money.
They can say,
That's
they
right.
could say, yeah, and if they do it right, keep the hip hop or whatever, and have actually people around that you see. Oh, damn, we saw West Side Gun, we saw this guy. Man, they got something. They got something popping there.
Fuck all that. Like I said, they need to make that shit like Def Jam Vendetta. You know what I'm saying? Have different rappers be in charge of teams. You know what I'm saying? Quote unquote factions.
That could be
Have
like they could do that like at like a not an anniversary show, but one of them big shows that they throw a year, like you know what I
and
mean, like a
endorse
tournament.
that, and
Yeah,
and endorse these certain athletes. Like, yo, could you imagine, like, okay, for instance, okay, No Limit, we are endorsing blah 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 blah. Okay, Busta Rhymes come out. Okay, well, this my squad, and they represent Flip Mode, and you can go keep going on and on with the
but the
different
problem with
squads.
that is the companies, the music company, they're the one that come in. To me, it would be more like independent. You know what I mean? That they don't have to deal with the big companies and shit. Like, not too many out there. That's the thing. That's why I don't see the Def Jam. You know how we always mention it. To go down. You know what I mean? That's the only
Right.
downfall I think I see. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely, man. I can't wait to see where he goes. You know what I mean? Or do. I don't think he's going back to the E because, like they said, you saw he always went by Wyndham Rotunda, but I guess the WWE part of it is gone. Doesn't mean shit, but it could mean a lot. You know what I mean? How it is. So let's see. Stay tuned.
Well, I don't know. I think it's about that time. What you think? You think it's about that time, yo?
Yeah. Wrap
Thought
it.
it's real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Yo, with that being said, we had a good time talking everything, all things wrestling, and of course culture. But look, public service announcements per usual. Okay? Too much negativity can have you unbalanced mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. Spread more positive vibes. It takes very little to build someone up than it does to tear them down. Think about the logic inside that message. It could be something as easy as giving someone a compliment, telling them something good about themselves, or you can go to whatevernew.net, go purchase the Positive Vibes Only t-shirt located at the Marks and Mike store, tank top, hoodies, sweaters, onesies. Especially right now, it's hoodie season. So go copy, go copy you a hoodie and go copy you a sweater. You know, we got all sorts of styles and sizes. Go get you one. It don't have to be for you. Matter of fact, go buy somebody else something. Go buy them a hoodie. Go buy them a tank top. Let that be a constant reminder for them to keep on pushing. Also, look, COVID is still here, okay? Remix is deadly. Can't stop, won't stop. All right? The best way to combat COVID, it is very easy, man. We've been telling y'all this for over a year, okay? It starts off with good hygiene, right? So first thing we're going to need y'all to do is wash your hands. But most definitely, wash your ass, okay? Use soap, all right? And Cheech, let these people know how they got to do it, Bobby.
Yo, like I've been saying for a few years already. From face to ass, not ass to face. Remember that. That's the Cheech en la casa.
All right? Wash your hands, wash your ass, use soap, face ass, not ass to face. And on that note, we out this piece. And last question, are y'all tricking or y'all treating?
I don't celebrate that holiday.
That's all right. I ain't talking about celebrating the holiday. Are you tricking or you treating?
Well, like Heath Slater says, man, I got kids.
All right. On that note, y'all, we out. Peace.
We